Think about what happens when the tourists come. Everyone wants to marry a foreigner. Everyone just has to go out with a tourist. That's the only way to buy something in a store. You foreigners have money. We don't. There will be no women left for Cuban men. When the tourists arrive, everyone goes crazy. One for me, one for me. Everyone wants a foreign boyfriend because it's you who have the right money to buy things. Will you marry me?
Passport bros. The term passport bros has emerged within online discussions, particularly among some Black American men who advocate for traveling abroad in search of romantic partners. This movement has gained traction on social media platforms, where individuals share their experiences and perspectives on relationships outside the United States. While the notion of seeking love and companionship in different cultures can seem appealing, the passport bros phenomenon is fraught with complexities and potential pitfalls. This video explores the origins of the passport bros movement, the motivations behind it, and the negative implications it may carry. Origins and motivation. The passport bros term has gained traction primarily through platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, where various individuals share their personal journeys of travel and romance, and an escape from the Western culture. At its core, this movement reflects a desire among some Black American men to escape perceived cultural and social challenges within the U.S. dating landscape, which has gotten really bad, with women asking for a lot while giving nothing in return. Many proponents argue that they are seeking more fulfilling relationships, often citing dissatisfaction with dating norms, gender dynamics, and racial biases that they feel hinder their romantic prospects domestically. Also stretching their finances farther in third world countries. Cultural context. Historically, Black American men have navigated a complex web of social expectations, stereotypes, and systemic issues that can impact their dating lives. The idea of traveling to other countries, especially where Western ideals of masculinity and gender roles may differ, offers a sense of hope and opportunity. For some, it represents a chance to experience less contentious and more traditional relationships. Moreover, with the rise of global interconnectedness through social media, these men can connect with potential partners worldwide, often leading to idealized views of romance in other cultures. They may be attracted to the perceived warmth, femininity, and supportiveness of women from different backgrounds, believing these attributes contrast sharply with their experiences at home. The negative implications of the passport bros movement. While the passport bros movement may seem empowering or liberating on the surface, it harbors significant drawbacks that warrant consideration. Objectification and exploitation. One of the most troubling aspects of the passport bros phenomenon is the potential for objectification. Many men may approach international relationships with a superficial mindset, reducing partners to mere escape routes from their domestic frustrations. This perspective can lead to exploitative dynamics, where women are viewed as trophies or means to an end, rather than as individuals with their own needs and desires. Such as Latinas, they are viewed as exotic to Black men, which is actually derogatory. Critics argue that some men approach these relationships from a transactional mindset, viewing women primarily as means to fulfill their desires rather than as individuals with their own agency and aspirations. This dynamic can perpetuate harmful stereotypes and reinforce power imbalances. Furthermore, this mindset can perpetuate harmful stereotypes about women in other cultures, reducing them to caricatures that fulfill specific fantasies held by some men. This not only disrespects the women involved but also undermines the complexities and richness of their cultures. Cultural disconnect. Traveling abroad for romantic relationships also carries the risk of cultural misunderstandings. Many passport bros may enter foreign cultures without a nuanced understanding of local customs, traditions, and social norms. This lack of awareness can lead to miscommunications and reinforce negative stereotypes, both for the men involved and for the women they seek to connect with. Moreover, relationships built on inadequate understanding can be strained, leading to frustration and disappointment. When one partner fails to grasp the cultural context of the other, it can create a chasm of expectations that is challenging to bridge. Reinforcement of negative stereotypes. The Passport Bros movement can inadvertently reinforce negative stereotypes about black men. Critics argue that it portrays them as disengaged from their own communities and as seeking validation through relationships with women of different ethnic backgrounds. This perception can further entrench existing biases and make it more difficult for black men to be viewed as multifaceted individuals, rather than as stereotypes that exist primarily in the context of their romantic choices. Additionally, the narrative that black men must seek relationships abroad to find love can undermine efforts to build healthier relationships within their own communities. It raises questions about commitment, loyalty, and the value of domestic partnerships, potentially fostering division rather than unity. You honestly can't trust someone who disrespects their own people. Potential for disillusionment. Lastly, the Passport Bros movement may lead to disillusionment for those who expect foreign relationships to solve their romantic difficulties. The idealized image of love abroad can clash with reality, leading to heartbreak and disappointment. When cultural differences and personal expectations collide, individuals may find that the grass is not always greener on the other side. This disillusionment can perpetuate a cycle of dissatisfaction and a quest for something that may never materialize. Escape from accountability. The Passport Bros movement represents a form of escapism. Instead of addressing underlying issues within their own communities, such as systemic racism, finances, or interpersonal conflicts, some men may choose to seek out alternatives abroad. This tendency can foster a cycle of avoidance rather than promoting genuine growth or understanding. Black women outearn their male counterparts. It's important to note that the average black man's salary is low in America, but they are able to stretch their dollars in other countries, live like a king. So a poor person in America is rich in the Dominican Republic, Colombia, and Brazil, which is one of the main reasons. There was a photo of reasons to move to Colombia. With $329 a month, you're a middle class in Colombia. $32,000 salary is very low in America, but in most places around the world you're good. Another reason for the Passport Bros movement is African American men want women to submit to them, but black women are saying there's nothing to submit to, especially when African American men don't make enough money. Popular destinations for Passport Bros. Passport Bros tend to gravitate towards specific destinations known for their sexual openness, defined male and female roles, vibrant dating scenes, and places where you can survive on a very low income. Some of the most popular locations include Dominican Republic. African American men like mixed black women and the submitting culture. In New York, you can just go to the Bronx and get them. The Dominican Republic is overly saturated with black men, especially in Sousa, an area which is known for where the pros are. But African American men advertise how the Dominican Republic is a place where you will be appreciated. Brazil. The mixed black Brazilians are what African American men like. Based on data, Brazil is not really toured as much in the Americas North, Central, and South, and most of the visitors are from neighboring South American countries. So black men see this as an opportunity. Not only that, but Brazil is very open sexually and are known for it, especially having the carnival which highlights it. Brazil also has a submitting culture too. Colombia, over 85% of the population is mixed with natives and Europeans. But Colombia is also known as being the brothel of the world. Also how the women are advertised like the body of Shakira and Sofia Vergara. But the local Colombians are noticing the uptick of African American men visiting the country. There is this drug called scopolamine in Colombia. It's a drug women usually put in a man's drink, and it knocks you out, which sets you up to get robbed. Just search it up on YouTube, you will see people's experience they had with scopolamine. Tinder is heavily used for travelers going to Colombia, so it makes it very easy to look for a next target. There was an interview of a Colombian gangster, and he said his biggest customers of Colombian women are black men, Jamaicans, even African men. The gangster said it's no surprise that black men love Latin American women, the body, and he mentioned how black men are easy.
Bien, mis marcadores, que son los que se encargan de marcar a las personas que llegan. Nuestro trabajo funciona es rápido, no nos vemos. Es simplemente conocer a la persona, entrar en su vida, colocarle, como llamamos nosotros, la carnada, que es una chica hermosa. Principalmente a los que más abordamos son neoyorquinos, jamaiquinos, africanos, gente de color. A la gente de color le gusta mucho la mujer latina porque, tú me entiendes, tienen el culo grande, tiene tetas y eso es lo que ellos buscan aquí.
¿Cómo funcionan tus chicas con los tipos de gringos que manejan el sistema de copulamiento? Las chicas tuyas.
Ok, sí, como te digo, tengo unas marcadoras, cuyas marcadoras se encargan de analizar todo tipo de persona que llega al sitio. Ah, Luego ella tiene que ver el movimiento de cada uno, quién paga más, cómo paga en efectivo, en tarjeta. Y vemos el manejo de dinero. Si la marcadora ve que el paciente maneja mucho dinero en efectivo, una de las chicas se les ofrece. Luego ella ya sabe cómo hacer su trabajo. Ella lo seduce, le baila, lo trata bonito, como a ellos les gusta. Es lo que buscan en mi país, que se hagan sentir, ¿me entiendes? Que se hagan notar. Entonces es ahí donde ya tomamos la decisión de que la marcadora se vaya y mi chica se encarga del resto. Siempre buscamos algo más fuerte. Buscamos el 7 infierno, como le llamo yo. Este es fuerte y esto tumba hasta un elefante. Luego ya en vista de los movimientos que el paciente hace es donde nosotros accionamos. Tenemos taxistas que nos ayudan, tenemos otros medios de transporte.
I even saw posters that were posted in a Facebook group that said no gentrification in Colombia. I guess they are seeing an influx of people buying up properties. But Colombia is overly saturated with black men. Southeast Asia, countries like Thailand, Vietnam, and the Philippines have also become popular among passport bros, often for their perceived lower cost of living, the friendly nature of the locals, and the easiness of the women. It's a destination popular for white men, but now black men are now going to these countries. Especially Filipino women, they are the easiest. If you can't get Asian women or any women, Filipinos are your go-to option, it never fails. They are literally the easiest. A lot of Army veterans retire in the country for a reason. Dennis Rodman's dad, who was in the Army, left the family to be in the Philippines and ended up having a lot of kids in the Philippines. I watched a documentary that was called Philippines, the Baby Factory. It's a baby-making country of the world. Every 12 minutes a baby is born. Also high teenage pregnancy rates. Not only that, they have the lowest consensual sex age in the world by 11 years old. In that documentary there were 11 old girls with 50-year-old men and 12-year-olds with 45-year-old men. Those countries are gonna be mixed in the future. 90 Day Fiancé is a Passport Bros show. A lot of the males visit those listed countries. Panama is not the destination for Passport Bros because it's expensive, and the country uses the American dollar as the currency. Same with Puerto Rico. But black men tend to visit Colombia and the Dominican Republic because it's in their backyard. The flights are not long coming from the US. Also, Latin America has a baby mama culture too, especially in Brazil and Colombia. But the men go to these countries and don't come back for the reason that they don't make enough money. So they go to the listed countries where they become a better person, a better spouse, because their money stretches farther. African American women are no longer affordable. Latinos are affordable. In America they are below the poverty line. Even with a two-parent household the average salary is low for them. In America a lot of women don't want to work in 2024 while having a man as the main provider. Alright, bet. The men will go to third world countries where they can afford to be with a woman who don't have to work. Passport bros want to be treated like a king. Also, Latino and Asian women are viewed as very submissive. Here's a double standard. Latino women like Dominicans have the same stereotypical aggressive or nasty personality of a black woman, especially Caribbeans. Black women twerk, they don't like it. If a Latina twerks, it's not a problem. The difference is Latino women are viewed as more attractive. Here is a video of a guy recording women in Brazil twerking. A guy said if this was black and American women, y'all would be calling them hood rats. And then a lot of guys came after him.
So I don't date American black men. I have never dated an American black man, and my reasons are quite simple. So a few days ago, I made a video about coffee dates, and I basically talked about how I would never accept a coffee date as a first date. I think it's low effort and it's just not my thing. Surprisingly enough, and I was genuinely surprised, 98% of the commenters and the people that were upset were American black men. So shocked because I didn't think that video would land on their For You page, but it did, and hundreds of them, hundreds, were crying on my shoulder over the fact that I would not drink bean juice on a first date with a man or with anyone. They were in my comments calling me all types of names, saying that I'm a gold digger and saying that I'm this and that. And then unprovoked, they started attacking me for my looks. By the way, I was so nice in that video. I did not insult anyone in that video, but they were insulting me. They were coming at me for my skin color, saying that I'm too dark and that I shouldn't have any standards. They were coming at me for my Afrocentric features. They were coming at me because I have an Afrocentric hairstyle in. Black American men honestly have this habit of attacking black women for the way that they look, especially if you are a darker skinned woman or you have more Afrocentric features. They will attack you. So the fact that they came at me for my looks unprovoked is not surprising to me at all. So reading the comments and watching the stitches, it brought up a discussion between me and my parents about why I don't date American black men. American black men generally do not value courtship, traditionalism, or even marriage. And I'm not saying that all American black men are like this, but a large majority are. They will berate you, break you down, and take advantage of you. I don't know why, but the sight of seeing a black woman, a dark-skinned black woman, having standards really does bother them. Maybe it's because in their mind, nobody ever talks about this, but they believe black women, dark-skinned black women deserve crumbs. Colorism is real, and they think that we deserve crumbs and that we shouldn't have any standards. I mean, I was getting so many messages and comments saying, "You're dark skinned, why do you have all these standards?" The only reason why that video got them really upset was because it basically told them to do better. And they do not take well at all to being told to do better, as you can clearly see, and it's because they are not required to. They are used to giving women nothing, giving women crumbs, but then receiving the world back. So when they were watching my video, they were so upset. They were like, "Oh, no. You want me to take you on a proper date? A proper date when all I'm used to is inviting women back to my house, or inviting women on a nature walk as a first date, or inviting women to my car to link and smoke? You want me to actually put in effort? No, I'm not used to that at all." They are literally in my comments saying, "What makes you think you deserve a meal? You need to prove yourself." And when American black men say that you need to prove yourself, that just basically means you need to go through hell and back with him. They don't want to put in the effort because they're lazy, they are entitled, and they are cheap. And don't get me wrong, it's not all American black men that are like this. It's just the large majority. And that is a problem because the majority of black American women prefer black American men, but there are not enough good black American men.
This is mostly centered around black Americans. Africans don't really have this problem. American problems are not African problems, and vice versa. Africans are a minority among black people in America. In terms of population, it's black Americans, Caribbeans, then Africans. African couples, usually like Nigerian, Ghanaian, Beninese and Togolese, tend to be successful. It's like Asian couples, which is rare now, because 95% of Asian women date outside their race, specifically white men. But Asian couples are successful financially, with each of them making six figures separately. African couples are the same thing. African men want their women to be on their level, they celebrate their women's achievements. Africans in America don't have this animosity towards each other like black people do. Africans are generally ambitious. It's very easy to meet another African who is at their level. Africans are not restricted to dating black Americans, so their relationships or dating life are very easy. Africans generally prefer their own. But for black women it's hard. Black men feel insecure when the women do well. It's like they want them to be at the bottom. Statistically speaking, African American women are more educated and make more financially than African American men. The hostility towards black women. One of the most troubling aspects of the passport bros phenomenon is the hostility that some black American men express toward black women. In discussions surrounding this movement, many men articulate grievances about their experiences with black women, often framing these complaints as reasons for seeking relationships elsewhere. Such narratives can be damaging, as they contribute to a broader societal narrative that unfairly stigmatizes black women and undermines their value. This hostility may be rooted in a variety of factors, including societal stereotypes such as baby mamas, personal experiences, and systemic inequalities. However, it often leads to generalizations that fail to recognize the individuality and complexity of black women's experiences. The hostility can manifest in various forms, from derogatory comments online to more insidious attitudes that permeate personal relationships. This dynamic not only harms black women but also limits the potential for healthy, constructive dialogue between black men and women. The impact on the black community. The passport bros movement and the accompanying hostility toward black women can have profound implications for the black community as a whole. By fostering division and resentment, this trend undermines efforts toward unity and collective progress. Moreover, the movement risks reinforcing harmful stereotypes about both black men and women. It can perpetuate a narrative of failure in black relationships, suggesting that the solution lies in abandoning one another rather than working through challenges together. This viewpoint can detract from important discussions about how to strengthen relationships and address systemic issues within the community. That's why a lot of black men want to join the Latin community so badly. But I get how the culture is so messed up. From the rap scene, to the baby mothers, crime, etc. But nobody wants to fix anything. A lot of black men hold on to their trauma they had in grade school, especially holding on to the nerd or lame who wasn't like trope. It will get better after high school. High school is not the end all. After high school nobody is gonna really know you. Nobody's gonna care that you were the most popular or a lame in school. The higher you go up you're gonna see quality people, especially quality black women. But you won't really see black men in higher education like that. The amount of people I went to high school with that are grown up amounted to nothing. All they do is talk about how cool they were in high school and how they were getting laid. Now look where it got them. It's not hard to find quality black women when you have a higher education. Most relationships in grade school are not serious, it's all about smashing. African American women are more loyal to the men than the men are to the women. They have been lowering their standards just to keep the community together. They would rather be a baby mom than to date out, that's how seriously loyal they are. The passport bros movement has a lot of army veterans in it. They were made for that, living in a one-bag lifestyle. They are giving tips and skills on dealing with girls overseas. Black women have been asking where are the black men. Most African American guys are in the army, not in higher education. I mean if you have no direction join the army. It gives order. Truth be told white men are the original passport bros. Look at Latin America and how it was created. White men have been doing this for a long time, traveling for sex or getting foreign wives in impoverished countries, but have never posted or bragged about it. I guess it's a cultural difference. Black men tend to post everything they do on social media. They tell on themselves and make noise everywhere they go, based on experience. Just search on YouTube and TikTok, it's all over the internet. And you know what? To prove that they aren't discriminating black women, they are telling black men to even visit Kenya or South Africa. I mean, Kenya is like the West, just in a third world country. It's already a sex tourist destination, and now they are turning it into Atlanta. Generally, passport bros don't even go to Africa, which is a good thing. Africa already has enough problems. But when they do, they go to the Horn of Africa, Eritrea, Somalia, Djibouti, and Ethiopia, because they are mixed. Black men will say they aren't. Either they're misinformed or they are trying to substitute black women with mixed women. The average DNA for the Horn of Africa is 60% sub-Saharan African and 40% other. The other usually more heavy on the Asian part. That's why scientifically it's called the Afroasiatic region. This reinforces black men's obsession with mixed black women. So a lot of these guys are getting sex just for cheap. It doesn't matter where they go, the personality stays the same. Ain't nothing but a bunch of love and hip-hop people. Another thing is a lot of these dudes come from one-parent households. The black community is built on matriarchy. Since a lot of black men be leaving, black women take on everything. It was good going to these countries early on, but now things have changed. A lot of the local women know these guys are coming to the country. It was easy getting Colombian girls' numbers. 2 years later you come back and she is now asking for money while having different area codes in her phone. 353, 91, 972, 90, and 44. So you are basically bidding her just to keep her attention because now there are a bunch of dudes who want a Colombian woman and she knows that. These places are getting oversaturated. A lot of passport bros end up being broke. It blew up during the pandemic where people were getting remote jobs. But right now companies are not dishing out high-paying remote jobs like that anymore. The most common remote job out there is customer service, but that's a low-paying job. Now a lot of guys are too busy asking their viewers for money by donating to their Cash App or Super Chats. Are they doing it because they feel sorry for them? They want to live in spirit? Or happy to see a brother doing it big? A lot of people don't really think it through. Most of the people who live overseas are people who are retired. Also, most of the retirees are people who served in the military. But these common guys just see the girls and book a ticket, no plan at all. Most of the Passport Bros content on YouTube is usually about bashing black women. That's what gets them money, especially black women's reactions. It's a proven fact. Even when they physically have left the community, they still make content about them way overseas. It's really sad. Black women are black first, but black men are men first until there is a problem, then they will be reminded that they are black. Black men are white supremacist. Black men are becoming to a point where you can't critique them. They have a God complex. Fresh and Fit made fun of black women, they were fine with it. But when they made fun of black men too, black men had an issue. Passport Bros has a fetish to it too. When these dudes get money, that's when they abandon black women and get all disrespectful and arrogant about their love of women of other races like a Shannon Sharp. Black men are letting black women know they like light skin and mixed women. Promoting how black men are the most sexually attractive and every girl wants them. But I do agree the dating scene is messed up. Some people do get peace by actually leaving the community. Another thing for the Passport Bros movement is that black men want to be with freaks, and black women are fake freaks despite them being advertised as twerkers. Black women are prudes and boring in the bedroom. Black men always voice how their best experience always comes from a Latina or Asian woman. Asian women may not have the body of the average black woman, but make it all up in the bedroom by doing other things that will please you. For example, asking for top from a black woman is like pulling teeth. They will moan and say they're not doing that or ask for their bills to be paid. While other races of women will do it without you even asking them, they do it to make you happy and to satisfy you. Here is Skylar, a feminine beige light-skinned passport bro who used to be in the military from Texas who now resides in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He is the leader of the Voyatic Facebook group from the earlier video of the Brazilian girls twerking. He promotes guys to travel to Latin America for women and has turned it into a business. In the group, people share photos of various women they sleep with. He even has consultations on how to sleep with women in Brazil. Here is his most important reason why he don't like African women compared to Latin American women, and his reason for picking living in Brazil.
Okay, now here's the issue though. All of the YouTubers who go to Africa, I am not seeing anyone pull anyone near this level. None of them. Okay, and it could be for quite a few reasons. It could be that the women of her caliber, there's a low supply. There's not a lot of them. Okay, if you juxtapose that to Brazil, for an example, or Colombia, for an example, bad bees are coming out of the woodwork, literally. Literally, you can't leave your house without seeing an abundance of beautiful women. And I fear, and this is what everybody's telling me, is that when you compare places like Africa, generally speaking, you're not going to see baddies like this, 10s, 20s, dozens out of the woodwork, automatically breaking your neck every time you leave the house. It's just not happening. I will tell you, as a male, as a heterosexual male, I am inspired every day by beautiful women. Beautiful women is part of the reason why I came to Brazil, because it's something about the dopamine rush in your brain when you see beautiful women everywhere, when you see them working out, when you see them on the beach, when you see them shopping, when you go into your apartment and you go in the elevator and it's full of baddies that you've never seen before. They're just out of the woodwork. That does something to your psyche. For me, this is me personally. Also, there's a lack of variety of a lack of variety in Africa. You're not going to get the same amount of variety as you would in, say, South America, right? Here, just use Brazil for an example. In Brazil, they have literally everything. Certified baddies. White girls with blonde hair, redheads, brunettes. You got the full gambit of black women, to chocolates, to the lion's mane light-skinned ones, to the racially ambiguous Stacey Dash ones. You got the Indo-Indians, right? The ones that look like they came straight from India. You have the indigenous-looking Indians with the long hair. You got all these crazy mixtures, and I love it. I love the diversity. It turns me on. It gets me excited. Okay, so that is one of the reasons why when we talk about variety of women and scale ability, and that's one thing you guys have to understand about Africa versus Brazil or South America, is the scale. I'm not saying there's not attractive women in Africa. Generally speaking, there is, but it's not at the scale, and nobody can refute that claim. And people were like, well, Skylar, in Brazil and these other countries, you don't have these type of caliber women either. And I say, bull, because I can pay for it. But that's a black pill that a lot of people don't want to discuss, that most wealthy men with money, have a harem of women that they support. Like people always want to cover it up. Oh, no, you got to run game. We're not running any game. I don't have time to run game. I'm retired. Okay, now that is the variety in the lack of scale and excessive. Oh yeah, let me say this real quick before we move on. Accessibility is another key of this whole point. Accessibility. So this beautiful African chick that I just showed you, can you pull up to Africa right now? Can you pull up to South Africa right now, land on a plane, and be with a baddie like that within less than 24 hours, less than 12 hours? The accessibility is key, because there's a lot of these countries that we talk about have beautiful women, but the question is, are they accessible? Are they accessible to you? All right, so that is my main point. Scale, accessibility, and variety of women. That is number one.
But all this work, just to smash? Really? At the end of the day, all different types of women want a white guy. It is what it is. From Asia, Latin America, even Africa, especially East and South Africa. The Passport Bros movement encapsulates a complex interplay of desire, cultural exploration, and the quest for fulfillment. While it can be seen as an avenue for Black American men to seek love in different contexts, it is essential to acknowledge the potential pitfalls and negative implications that accompany it. Objectification, cultural disconnect, reinforcement of stereotypes, and disillusionment are all significant factors that can detract from the movement's intentions. A lot of these guys are being sold on a dream and not being told the truth of the struggles that go on in the residing country. It takes more effort to establish yourself overseas than most people think. Between learning the language, visa process, finding the right place to live, knowing who you can trust while you're in the country of your choice, and most importantly making sure your income is steady and having multiple streams of income, which is best, but in reality most people don't. Living overseas comes with a lot of sacrifices which most people aren't ready for. The primary motivation is the women that are in the country. Truth be told, it's not enough. I've seen guys max out their credit cards and get fired from their jobs just chasing women and entertaining these women overseas, doing things that they would not do in the United States. If you are interested in more discussions like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we upload new videos. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.